look so fancy today. Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to 5D Full Disclosure. Heaven on earth. We love you. We are the Morning Ascension Gathering. First Contact Ground Crew Team.
Yeah.
And today is a special day. We love you. We got some special guests, which is why we got our headphones on today.
Oh my word. Who's our special guest?
Let's bring them in. Let's see here.
Okay, let's check YouTube and Facebook.
Boom!
Hi,
Good morning,
fam.
Grand Rising family.
Can everyone hear us? Is the next question. Welcome, Kat and Elle. Good morning, Ascension
Colorado Fractal
Gathering.
in the house.
Good morning, family.
Cheers.
Good to
That's
be
looking
here.
good, man. Those bright lights are looking nice.
We got a professional setup. It's actually professional.
Feels good, right?
Finally.
So you got the Christmas theme going, huh?
I feel so. We're readying, you know.
You're
I'm
ready.
bringing in the collective energy of Christmas time as it's happening. We already see the stores amping up for Christmas. So here we are. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Caramel.
Taylor was playing music, Christmas music, November for like as soon as it hits. So we're in the flow, and we just got to get lights and a tree.
Yeah,
We gotta get a fake tree so it doesn't die, right? Just
No.
all year long, have it up.
We're gonna get a baby tree and then plant it outside.
That's a good idea.
Beautiful.
There
That's
you
the
go.
way to do it.
All right, we're writing that one down.
So you finally got your Wi-Fi sorted. That's a big,
That's
big
Wi-Fi.
deal.
Yes, so blessed. And it's interesting how aligned like everything falling into place was with the energies of just us coming into the new place, being settled in and just going through the adjustments of really, you know, having the space and going through process of healing even. It was a good time. And I mean, now we're even more ready to be back.
Yeah, it's been so fascinating to watch the energy because when you're opened and you're in the unknown about what's happening, you don't know why this is coming up or that. I mean, these lights were bought a couple of weeks ago before the internet. You know, other things came about, different types of, you know, just beautiful things that we just manifested for free or really inexpensive. And I'm saying all that because I'm watching it how you're always moving towards, you know, a different goal, and you don't know why you're picking up these pieces along the way. And that was a fascinating thing to watch with this because now we're completely prepared, you know, to do everything here with the streams or just anything really at this point. You know, things are just so solid. And I'm just so grateful for that.
Very grateful.
Yeah. Being open and patient is
Is that them?
I don't know.
You're
You guys,
just cutting out a little.
you guys hear us
Interesting.
okay?
Yeah.
No, I think it might just be us. I don't know. If
I-
we're on. We're good.
Okay, cool. Everyone can hear. I mean, welcome Mikey, Marcel, Bobby, Linda, Nicole, Nikki, Candace, Nairi, Jason. Jason Dave was like, oh, wow. And then on Telegram, we have James, Christine, Glenn, Anna Ray. I hear an echo.
Yeah, I'm lowering the game a
Okay.
little bit. That's
So on YouTube, we have our gangsta team, David, Jen. Mary Beth is normally on there. There she is. Hello, loves. There's a bit of a delay.
Good morning.
David's like, I'm glad y'all finally got on the stream. It's been a moment. Like the number of times we have set an intention to do a unity stream. Like we just had to keep surrendering, letting it go. It's like, no, not this week. Okay, let's just like relax. Divine timing is where it's at. And here we are.
Exactly.
welcome. Welcome. Yeah, especially last week. I mean, we have like the 6th now. So like this start of the month was just nuts. You know, the Halloween into now, lots of things changed. I feel a big energy shift, you know, like that occurred. And I started witnessing just a lot of different things coming up that were from this year. Like it was almost like this year was being packed into like a couple of days, and I was kind of finally feeling into certain things that I hadn't into. So very interesting time right now, even though it's, the beginning of winter in a lot of ways. At the same time, it's not this cold, slow winter. I feel the pickup. I can feel something happening. There's a lot of movement occurring. And we just all have to be open to that right now. Because the pieces as you go along, it's a big thing. You never know what's going to come. So you got to be have your intuition on in the moment, and this is a big thing. We're watching Manifest right now. We're almost done with it. And just to watch that, it is mission, like learning how to, get the intuition, get the guidance and follow it and staying on point with that. Because again, you never know why something is happening or why you're guided to go do this or that. You have to just surrender to that big thing in this process for everyone.
Yeah, in many ways, it feels like since Mom's Ascension, we've had to now go back and repeat a lot of these lessons to make sure we are really anchoring it in, to make sure that, hey, Mom's not carrying us anymore. We got to do this for ourselves. And that's what I noticed amongst the team. It was just like she left, our mission just started, and everyone went back to like square one, where you were like how you started mission, or just a lot of this like core dysfunctional stuff that Mom was doing a lot of the work for when she was here. And then now it was like it's game on. And it was intense because there had been so many moments where it was like Mom had told me, like, you're safe now. Time to heal. Like, do it for yourself. Like, I can't do this for you. You have to do this for yourself. And here we are, full circle now. So honored and grateful to be with you guys this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mama.
It's interesting because I feel there has been a lot of decompression happening because there was so much trauma over the last 12 months. I was like feeling into going live with Kat, and we haven't gone live in a long moment, not since Cali. I don't even know whether we did. Were you there, Kat?
No, I thought it was it.
Probably, yeah.
Well, so like when I first met Kat, it was so trippy because I'd been in the hotel room with Mom for a moment, and Kat and I were privately messaging. She's like, "I'm coming. Like, what do I need to know?" And she had, like a warrior, she just packed up her life. She had it all sorted. It's like, yep, got it. And then when she got called to the field, she was like so happy. But at the same time, like, I saw her at the car park at the hotel, and it was like, this feels really weird because now you're a person and I'm touching you and we're hugging. I'm like, you're taller than I thought. And she's like, you're smaller than I thought. And we're like, we'd been like this family online, and suddenly like in the middle of the night, like hugging, exchanging. Kat had bought Mom food, and I was like, is it still hot? Yeah, I kept it in the towel. And we were like, hush, hush, because it was such an intense time. Like Kat had driven like 15 hours. Something crazy.
Man, it was like over 20. That was like trippy as fuck. Because in that moment, I was just like, it was in the middle of the night and like literally New Year's. So I was like, all right, like I'm ready. I'm coming. I'm trained for this. And just like basically like driving through. But there were like so many steps in between where I like felt Mom come into the car and be like, all right, now you got to really just find a little spot, take a little rest, and, get solid again, keep driving. Like, just this knowing and feeling that's been like guiding me throughout my life, and ever since I came to mission, and which is basically about a year now, a year and a week, it's come so much more intense of really like feeling the authentic self, knowing it's Mom, there's no difference, it's all one. Like the separation aspect of it is just the ego mind, so we can feel into each other. I remember coming there first and then going to the RV crew, and Amanda that was there at that time was like, I felt you all the time and you did this, and I was like, yeah, that was so crazy. Like you feel each other's energy from like across the freaking planet. I mean, I was in Germany having all those trippy visions and synchronicities where I was like, I don't care what y'all tell me, like I know what I'm going through and I gotta be over there. So here we are.
It's so beautiful, and you're still here, and you're still like standing up. I know that we've had a unity meeting, and it was a moment since we all had a unity meeting, because everyone's schedule is so scattered. It's not, you know, it happens organically, and that's where like council members like, is it possible to have a schedule of, you know, set times for these council meetings? And it's like, that is our intention, is to set those times, but sometimes the energies just don't allow that, and that's where we're going to, this 5D organic flow. Everyone in 3D need to be on that rhythm, because it's not linear anymore.
Right. Because it's truly having these, like, you know, boundaries for oneself as well, knowing if there's this like high energy day and you're just like processing and really, you know, your only focus is staying grounded, you know, not going into it, using your tools. Like some days are like that with those intense energies coming in. So it's a, you know, tough love when you just say, all right, I need this time right now to just get back into my center. And then it happens organically. And it's always a test of like not getting frustrating, at the same time, just surrendering to the flow and keeping that higher vision and intention out of like, it's gonna happen. And when it happens, it's gonna be grand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember in the RV. Yeah, it's kind of getting choppy. Your internet should be good. It looks like our internet might be getting a little slow.
Maybe I just need to come off the Wi-Fi.
Mary, if you're on your blue phone, turn off the Wi-Fi on that one. Yeah, maybe that one will do it.
Love you, Mary.
Why I'm grateful for our internet. I can connect 20 devices, I feel, with no lag.
Or maybe in the time for them.
And the switcher.
No, but I mean the time just.
You hear me okay? Are we blurry? Are we choppy?
Yeah, it got a delay.
Interesting.
Still, yeah.
No, it's showing me here because this software runs on the Wi-Fi, so it's telling me.
But it's also the CMEs. Okay, so there's a big energy coming, has been for a couple of days, that will disrupt all these satellites and stuff. So we'll just be patient. You're okay.
Dylan, could you help me plug in this phone real quick? Yeah, we're good. It'll sort out. Plug in that front one.
Looks a little clearer now.
Yeah, it is getting clear.
Yeah, I got off the Wi-Fi.
I turned off the Wi-Fi. We have 4 phones here, plus an iPad and a laptop. Right here alone, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 devices. seven right here that we're using just on this table. And then And then you got the family.
Oh,
who's
man.
got their laptops and 2 phones.
Yeah,
and
let's
Right?
not go with technology comments. Now I can't read anyone's comments. I'm just going to chill.
Anyways, I had a point because I wanted to share. I remember in the RV, and this was a very significant time because, you know, we were tapping in and Kat was getting that she had to go to Colorado, and this was a big change for everybody because we were going to go one way, and she's like, well, I got to go to Colorado. And she kept tapping in and kept getting those confirms, right? Just like, there was no doubt. And I remember I was there with you in one moment, you got a confirm, and then like my whole body lit up, and I'm like, oh, you're going to Colorado, like, you know, because it was it's just so beautiful how Mom is working through us, through our vessels, when we tap in and feel and listen in, and like let that be our guidance, you know, because of course you had to be in Colorado.
You had to look after the dogs.
Colorado.
It's definitely, you know, fun when you have this feeling and it's something where you like don't fully resonate. You have this resistance to, because I was like, why would I, like, by myself? And then what am I going to do? Like, why? Just all those questions. Mm-hmm. And it's been like almost as intense as like this feeling of like, I knew I had to come over, like in general to mission. To go there, and then to have, you know, other beings as well that have those sensations and that are so present in the moment, so aware with their body to allow this to, you know, to be felt. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful and amazing. And I feel like everyone out there as well that is watching the stream and that has been with us for a long moment, is as well on a point where we can, we've slowed down to be present with our body and really feel our soul coming through. And then we can speed up because we do get the guidance through. And then we can be like, all right, easy. That's what I'm going to do now. Angels, that's what I'm going to do next. Angels, that's what I do next.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was going to say something. I forget. Anyway. Oh, the body light ups, the notion. So I find that too, like that when people light up and they hear the truth within them or they feel the truth, it becomes this wave of energy, literally, because someone else will be lighting up and then I'll feel that light up. And I just have to be open enough to feel it too. And it might not be that intense, especially when it's not coming from within me, but yet I can feel like empathetically the other person's energy. And I feel that's ultimately the whole entire point, is that everyone, as they raise their vibration, is sending out these, sonic booms of love, and just this energy of love, this higher vibe energy, and it can all be picked up on. And that's why we say that one person in the heart, is capable of transforming ultimately, millions of lower energies, from individuals. And so it's just the power of that. I'm feeling it more and more. It's adding to the truth that the truth is the truth. The truth will set you free. It literally does raise your vibration. It literally does cut the ties that bind and the anchors. And that's a big thing. And a lot of people out there, I feel, are like, well, I don't know what to do, or maybe I feel it, the inkling. As someone who waited around to go on a cross-country journey years ago, I would highly recommend to anyone that if you're getting a feeling to do something, especially a travel, just to go somewhere, do it. Just do it. You can always return to where you're from. It doesn't matter, but there's an adventure out there for you, especially if you're, living in America. There's so much to see, and there's so many other countries that you could go to also if you're guided to. I'm just really recommending that to people, especially as we get out of this whole entire, crap that's been going on and across the planet. Enjoy life more. Go do more things, Go buy that thing you're looking to get to go camping for the weekend so you can just be under the stars and detach. These are the things that light us up because, Kat didn't know why she had to come down to Colorado, yet she's here now and it's been a trip. It's been an interesting trip for sure. And you never know what's going to happen for you. You never have any clue. And I just know that when I surrendered to my own guidance and went on those adventures, that's what ultimately led me back to the source. So I highly recommend that for everyone because it's helped us every single time. No matter good, bad, indifferent, however it played out, I'm grateful for all the experiences because it's been breaking me. I appreciate what Buddha said in the beginning. It's like every single thing is coming back up. And Mom said that directly to him, directly to me, that certain things were not going to come up until she left. Because it's true, as source, she was holding down the fort on certain energies. And I'm grateful for it to come up and to break down, and cry my eyes out, and just feel that sense of a new level. And I feel that we've recently gone through something. I don't know what, but in reflection, I feel we're going to see more and more that past week even has been a big energetic shift.
Yeah, for sure the training has been intense. I've got 2 points that's coming through, like the collective energy that is trickling out from the intention of this divine non-attachment. We're already seeing it in the TV series that we're kind of dabbling in, especially tiny homes. It's such a fascinating concept, and everyone's jumping on board. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but we never had that kind of thing in Scotland. We did have like other design and architecture homes.
It's the new fad. It's
right. It's like, how do you downsize? How do you declutter? How do you fit a family of 7 in a like 30 square feet or
300, 500
something.
Square foot house.
It's just like having those RV days when there was 10
Mom's
of
done
us.
It. She's already trained
10
us.
of us
right? It's
in
like
an
12
RV, and you have to like face each other and sleep together on the floor. But it was so much fun.
It was a big sleepover party over
Every
and over
night.
again.
Irie Heart, Kat, and I jamming it, and we're making the RV like go up and down. And Buddha's like, "Could you girls like not dance? Because it's really wrecking the tires." We're like,
I was just shuffling through the RV and everything was shaking.
and then we
Our
did.
stabilizers broke, so
We
we didn't-
tried.
Yeah.
We tried to dance like just shuffle, but like this isn't the same. And then we'd have to sit down and do coiling. I got Kat to do coiling. We're like, okay, let's just coil.
All right. And that was a beautiful test as well. You know, if you're such an energy that is very all over the place and just active. And I mean, I start in the morning about 4:30, and then at 5 there's dance party here. So it's good though to have the balance and really find something that makes you slow down and sit. Like the coiling, the copper, I know it definitely gave me so much peace in the heart, because you do something but you're so still, you just feel into the breath and you have this, you know, movement, and it's amazing. Definitely slowing down helps.
And just the other one was the angel pings. It is about finally coming home to something that you can trust. Like before finding mom, it was like you doubted so much because the programming was so much in the linear, and you had to rely on other means to feel the truth. Because our feeling centers have been hijacked, because our pineal gland was calcified, because of all of these DNA manipulation, it was really blocked, that inner compass. But as soon as I had the etheric surgery, all my feeling centers came online. And then I felt the body light ups. And then if someone would read an article on the screen, on this, you know, on the live stream, it would go like, it was real, this feeling, the sensation, these tingling, and like it would go boom, 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 boom. I mean, I've been practicing Qigong for 15 years, so of course I know energy, but not in that intensity. So I already have that gauge. When someone's speaking to me and it suddenly goes, like my right brain or my left brain goes, and it's all this electricity, I already know there's that truth in that, and I don't need to doubt that. But if you haven't got your feeling centers online, I didn't even know what online meant. You're not going to feel it. And it's going to take you to detours.
I feel for a lot of people, it's going to start clicking. You're like, wait a minute, so when the hair on my arm stands up, like that's a sign? Yeah, it's like your antennas are going up, right? It's, your body is feeding you this information so that you can have a positive response to it, so you could be like, oh, this must be the right way, the right direction that I'm going.
Yeah, and that's something funny enough on like the scientific part of it. What brought me, I feel, closer to mom, like back when I was to school, and in physics, you know, that's what we learned with magnetic fields, energy fields, how antennas pick it up, and then like realizing that we're capable of doing the same thing, because if I, you know, have this red light healing lamp, this wave is felt as warmth. Obviously, you know, our bodies has perceptions or receptions all over. And it's interesting to more and more feel into how everything is energy. So obviously, you know, when we hear music, our ear is capable of, you know, catch those radio waves, those sound waves, and turn it into sound. So on a higher level, you know, frequencies, much higher frequencies that we speak in our voice is obviously the same thing. Like our body absorbs it and then feels it. And the being online, I feel, is a lot the awareness and the realization that within our body, to disturb this communication that we have, there are, you know, magnetic fields and electric fields in lower frequencies, implemented through the traumas we went through, the childhood wounds, even like, I don't know, whatever they all discovered to lower that vibration physically. That's what is happening with the surgery, just like being flushed out. And I heard on my second surgery, there was just this frequency of like deep unworthiness. All day long, I was spinning in unworthiness. It was ridiculous. And then I had the surgery, and the next day I woke up And I had a metal piercing at that point in my belly button. And like, I'd never had that intense pain, like across my whole belly. I couldn't move or anything. And then they pinged me on like the frequencies that it is electric, magnetic, and how it is metal. So I took it out, and in that moment, like something just burst, and it was like gone. Like it was just lifted off. So it's a miracle on the one side, but on the other side, like with this, you know, scientific brain, you can like it's just so clear, so understanding.
Yeah, the metal's gonna get you. I mean, how many beings have metal in their vessel? Particularly these things for birth control. Like that coil, copper, whatever, that stuff will really fuck you up. And I only speak from experience. And we had earlier this year, we had a big discussion in the Divine Feminine Awakening chat around this notion of, okay, so you put a metal thing up your uterus and to stop whatever, like, I just physically just realized what a mistake that was, because I was living in fear and it had to be addressed. And there are so many blocks, and you're adding one more major, like, alien, non-organic,
Right.
metallic thing that's communicating with who knows fucking who.
Right.
That's scary shit. So I was like, right, gotta do something about this. So be gone. Yeah. Are we ready to have a little bit of Mama?
Mama.
A little
Please,
bit of
thank you.
Mama's messages from 2013, The Ultimate Time Traveler. Awesome.
All right, let me do this first, and then oops. Boom.
Boom. Wow.
And I'll full screen it when she starts.
Cool.
Message from the Earth Allies. Are you a real awakened being? Unconditional love is the real love of God, and the truth in higher thought or higher dimensions of consciousness. Ego cannot go there. As we truly connect with the one consciousness from within, ego disappears and ceases to exist. So, let's take a look at some of the qualities of an ego and true love, for they cannot exist together. The ego has set up belief systems, which we also call BS for convenience. Within the realms of a higher thought, there are no belief systems, only openness, honesty, without any filters, and in truth, unlimited thought with no boundaries. Love never judges, condemns, controls, or put things in any order. The ego, however, blames, criticizes, separates, isolates, puts importance on something outside of the self, and has neat little boxes to compartmentalize everything instead of seeing everything holistically. When you see things holistically, this means you are in full consciousness. The ego always is looking for answers outside and then demands proof, while real love requires no proof. It allows, accepts, embraces from within, and sees all whole and perfect as it is. The ego is unable to change. It is static, inconsistent, defends as if there were something to defend, and dictates that the ego's way is the only way. When in truth, unconditional love and the true being are the only way through. Love always offers knowledge of self to empower others, and continues consistently to practice love in every moment in action. As an example, Ego can only offer the illusion of love. For the true being of love is always in the present, while ego is always in the past or the future. Love always tells the truth no matter what, and ego always runs from the truth, because it cannot exist any longer when the truth is presented. Nor can ego even see the truth, because it has no clue what real is, and so it forces and justifies its stance, as well as it can be very subtle and appear as real love. However, ego is unable to grow and change and transform, as in love is constant growth, change, and transformation. Love is transforming and brings about equality for all. In closing, true death is the letting go of the ego, so the space can then be filled with joy of the true inner being. The more the love energy we bring in is when the body begins transforming itself into eternity. Love is all there is. Love is the answer. With love from the true being, we are all one when the ego is released. Love the Earth Allies.
Oh, let me unmute them. Hold on. There you are.
Nice. Oh, my left ear kept ringing.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's so interesting. Mom was talking about, how seeing something holistic means in full consciousness, and that just like gave me this whole flash, because in Germany, we work so much with the homeopathic medicine, with the herbs. Like there is still a lot of this ancient wisdom of those women back in time that brought in that there's this amazing book, I forgot her name, but she basically like channeled a lot of mom, how in unity and oneness with the planet, like we have everything in abundance. Like whatever we might have as a sickness now, the planet itself has for a cure, in herbal form or fruits and vegetables. Like everything is right there, and that's an aspect of that holistic, this oneness that just clicked.
What's interesting for me is mom setting up the energetics of all the beings who are on mission that have been to certain countries. Like it'd be interesting to see how Germany wakes up in these moments, because in the Global Relations Council we spoke about the trauma from World War and the shame and the guilt as a collective. However, I went to Germany and there was so many, I feel like, stereotypes about German people, and Bavaria especially. They're farmers, they're real like soul of the land, and they keep themselves at a distance. But in the same token, they were super friendly. And I remember they're very Catholic, and you greet each other, Grüß Gott. And I just laugh with Kat, because I know all of these sayings, servus, and they're all like to do with God. It's like you don't say Guten Morgen. You say Guten Morgen, but you say Grüß Gott. Servus.
Grüß Gott is basically greetings with God, or through God. So
and
that's
servus?
really cool. Servus comes from the Latin word, and basically like servus is like we serve each other, something like that.
Yeah, it's fascinating because like we are in service to love.
Yeah.
And it's only particular to that part of the country. Like you wouldn't go up north and say servus. They'd laugh at you, because the southern and the northern, they're very much, different kind of breeds.
Yo, I can't understand them. Like if someone from up north like talks in their, native tongue, like I can't understand a word.
Wow.
Yeah, and
it's crazy.
It's so crazy because each region has its own soul, has its own culture, and has its own food. And I've never been to Berlin, but Berlin looks super woke. I mean, you can imagine you go to the recycling center and it is Nazi. Like, this small plastic bag belongs to this container, and that big plastic bag belongs to that container, and we were told off. It's like, go there. And it's like, this foil goes here and that foil goes there. I'm like, spinning.
Right? And you have the soft cups goes theirs, and like, it's ridiculous. And that's a lot, that is as well in that collective that I can reflect for myself, is like wanting to control the micro.
Yeah, at the same time, there's so many woke beings, like, knowledge, and they're just like staying under the radar, as is Australia, as is England. Scotland's super woke, Ireland's super woke, and America is super woke.
Yeah,
It's
coming to that tipping point, I feel. And that's the thing that, as much as we keep raising our individual vibration, it's felt across the planet, and you can see all across how people, stand up. And it's really interesting. In Germany, there's this singer, her name is Nena. I don't know, 99 Hot Balloons.
Oh yeah,
that song.
Yeah, the German.
And she literally like just blew off her tour for next year, and is like, what's going on in this country is like, it's ridiculous and against any human rights. Like, if I want to go on a concert or make a concert, I want everyone to be able to come with equal rights and no, body modification as mandate to have to be able to be there. And I'm not gonna even reschedule it, like, unless the country and the government is making big changes, she's basically, off. And that's a pretty big statement, where I feel it's coming to that point where, the woke that are more celebrities, they come out with the truth, because they feel as well like the dark has no power anymore. They're done. And it's coming to that tipping point.
Only if we would like it to be, because that person's international, and I rehearted that too. You had told me that last night, and I'm glad you brought it back up, because I didn't know that was her song. And like 99 Red Balloons, classic one, is in German. People love listening to the German version even. And so for someone like that, of international acclaim, who's saying, I'm done, period, that's going to start changing the whole entire game, I feel. And I feel that, I put it in the 5D full disclosure. I had found this through Corey Good, who works with David Wilcock. He posted a short video from a woman named, I feel her name is Sylvia. She is the owner of the franchise, The Matrix and Terminator.
Interesting.
Okay. I'm lighting up. And in an interview, she stated that the Terminator is the prequel or the past of The Matrix. So the whole entire thing of the Terminator and the Matrix together is that this is about man versus machine. This is about God's children versus man's children. This is about creator versus created. And when you watch all of those films together, you realize that you are becoming an enlightened being. That's literally what Neo becomes. He becomes pure light. And the realization of that, and the ability to have powers and abilities to do different things, that time travel is something that's occurring. Okay. So this woman had basically said that John Connor, is the father of Neo. So John Connor, who goes back in time to create. So there's a man that goes back in time and he creates a son with Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor is Neo's mother. That is what this woman says, who created this franchise. So it's this crazy multidimensional thing.
Wow.
Okay, we have no clue what's going on. And I realized after reading something else that Mother was here and would make these comments about correcting the timeline, and I'd watch her go into etheric battle, and I'm like, holy shit, she's fighting in time wars. Like, she's literally came into this present moment in a tumultuous time to affect the outcome of reality, because there has been time wars going on in the background, and only Source herself could correct those things, those wrinkles in time. That is a book that just came up in Manifest. And it's also a book that I highly recommend you all read, I once read it in college in one night. I was told by someone, sit here and read this whole entire book. And that is another one about multidimensionality and how we are becoming like autonomous robots, through the deep AI infiltration, and how we have to overcome that in order to fully become a realized being, a realized society is really what they're showing me, because we are all in this together. That is 100% obvious. You choose love on the planet, therefore you continue to be on the boat, the ship of love towards 5D New Earth, or you don't. And I feel that it's becoming very clear to me now how important our choices are and how inevitable some things are, and yet also how much we have the ability to co-create with God, with Source, and make the reality that we choose together. That is only going to happen through self-actualization. Big one is to realize that there is no we until you realize that within yourself. I cannot connect with all of you until I reconnect the pieces of myself within. It's the only path. And that's the process. And some people are going to have to go to the other side to go through that integration process, because the reincarnation cycle is ending because of the fact that people are finally getting their life review, their multi-life review, because the astral plane was keeping people imprisoned and like a waiting room. And this was even brought out, okay? No Exit. John Paul Sartre, a philosophy book, discusses how hell is going into a room where nothing can move, nothing changes, and you're with the same people for eternity.
Oh my
Sounds
God.
like the astral realm.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom destroyed that. So now our souls can finally fully go to the etheric and realize why we came down here in the first place, big picture. And from there, it's a total, you're empowered. I can see it now. You don't have to come back in a little baby body. You could walk off a starship. Mm-hmm. I just want to say, though, that could take 10, 20 years. I have no clue. I'm just throwing that out there because I'm always of the big picture of like, I don't know how long this is going to be. What can we do in the moment to become our greatest and grandest version and attract that? Because it has to be attracted. We have to raise in order for those starships to come in. It's simple. It's a very simple. Again, within is the expression of your reality. So big, puzzles. I always saw Mom's divine plan as puzzle pieces. Yep. And as I tapped in over the years of being with her, I saw the space getting smaller and smaller, that she was figuring it all out. Mm-hmm. And now we have to do the same. We have to do a puzzle. And I'm looking forward to making it a reality.
Yeah, going full circle to what you said, like choosing to take that trip, right? Choosing to now make that move for yourself. Using those credit cards that might not be here for too much longer. Why not? I mean, I'm not saying, but like there's opportunities out there for you to just do these things and set the energetic for it. Because humanity, are you truly ready to be traveling amongst the stars in your own starship? I mean, start by taking a trip down to the next state or something, like start to set those intentions, those energies, and you'll find that Mom has your back. God has already set it up for you to have beautiful golden nuggets along the path. And that's your golden brick road home back to heaven on earth, because now you find these golden nuggets and boom, it just becomes this adventure of expansion that true reality is. There is no dull moment in heaven. We never say we're bored, but there's always something to do. There's always an adventure around the corner.
There's always a spin around the corner.
There's always a safe space to spin, or a safe space to transform and grow. And for me, it's like, almost 4 years into this, and it just feels like a blink of an eye. Right. Wow. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to mention this beautiful book I'm reading at the moment about the life of Madame Blavatsky, because that photo that went around in the Skype Yippee chat forever. Like, Mom was always bringing it up. It was her as Madame Blavatsky on a wheelchair, and behind her was El Moria, Kutumi, and Saint Germain. And I'm like, who are these people? Like, and she left us clues. She's like, this is me, that is you, and Saint Germain is my ambassador. And so I was asking Buddha last night, I was like, what do you know about Kutumi? And what did you say?
I said nothing.
So then he said, but then Mom said...
I was in the middle of cooking. She's like, what is it? I know he's done some stuff. I'm like, are you asking me this right now? I'm like, I can't even go there. Like, the meat is sizzling, and I'm straight sizzling with it. Like,
Right.
But, you know, I know he did a lot of his therapy through music as well. I'm hoping that's the right guy.
But this book mentions Kutumi. Okay, so there's a lot of gaps.
She's good for that.
There's a lot of gaps, and like Irie Hart, like my first astrology session with Aurora, she was like, yeah, you're part of the research team, and da-da-da-da, and a lot of this stuff was like bombarding me, like all this not information, but like truths about me, and I'm like swimming in the sea of like, what the fuck? Like, I have Scorpio this, I'm a master transformer, and then now I'm a researcher with Dr. Emoto, and I'm like, yo, whoa, like this. But now I see that the training has come to get me to this point. Like, this stuff is like 1870s. I mean, we're talking English that you kind of like probably fall asleep in the first 2 sentences. But I did Latin in high school. So it's like, I'm skimming through this work. I'm like, I know I have codes. I know I need to spend and focus moments on getting this lifetime of the work of Madame Blavatsky. Why is it so important? And it takes me on this journey, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand that word, and I don't understand what it's like. Keep going. The angel's like, just keep going. Don't reread that paragraph. Just keep going. But I wanted to share this one point. Madame Blavatsky was being trained, same as the Galactic was speaking to Mom. That Madame Blavatsky, all the realms were open because she was an initiate. She was one of the chosen ones because she matched the DNA. There was not many vessels that they could go through, and she was it. And so she wrote so many books. 2 significant books is The Secret Doctrine and Isis Unveiled. Isis Unveiled has 1,339 different pieces of reference, as in books. We're talking books. And in the 1800s, you're not going to have access to all these books in a library. She didn't just go to Tibet, find this holy library, and download this shit. She had to teleport to each volume and extract word for word everything to compile this amazing book of wisdom. So, from there, her task, okay, let us now consider the 7 kinds of process involved in her writings. Each one will be considered separately because she was a talented writer. It's like she couldn't share with us everything about creation in this lifetime. There were no moments. By the time I made it to mission, Mom was in a lot of pain. I spent many moments with her in silence. She didn't have the energy, but she did keep posting this picture. Madame Blavatsky, Kutumi, El Moria, and Saint Germain. So within this, she had descriptive writing, the first one. The first process. Writing by means of instruction, the second process. Writing by dictation, third. Writing by directive clairvoyance, fourth. Writing by psychometry. And then sixth, writing by means of precipitation. The last one, writing by means of a process analogous to tulku. So what it is like, it's like a straight channel. The writing by means of instruction is she's getting instructed by an etheric master. And she'd be conversing with them. Same as Mom would like talk to Robin. She'd be like writing it down. And these are words she didn't even know what they meant. This is Madame Blavatsky I'm talking about. And there is also Mom. And then she would like writing by dictation. They were dictating stuff to her. So here we have this treasure trove of wisdom directly from Galactics in the 1800s. So it's like, okay, there's a lot of volume, there's a lot of work. I'm asking for angel guidance. Like, I need to piece this together because we are embodying and anchoring God divinity. It means we have to train on those skills ourselves. And I tell you what, when I'm writing a poem and it doesn't come, I mean, I love poetry. Like, I love poetry. I used to write poems, but now, you know, when you would write a poem, you would start with 2 lines and then you would like, and then you kind of rub things out and you edit. But like, no, this stuff is like, boom. So like, I'm gonna write around my spin, about my spin, and then suddenly there's this like phrase. And I write that phrase, and then suddenly, like, I'm writing lines, and I'm just going boom, 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 and next thing you know it, 1 minute has gone, and I've written a whole fucking poem. And I'm like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
because
I know.
Because it takes you, like, it comes from nowhere, and I'm like, okay, I surrender. Like, it ain't me, that's not me. Like, that is totally, like, guided. That's not my process of writing poetry. But good, I surrender. I welcome it. I'm not afraid.
That's brilliant. Yeah. And it's definitely like a checkpoint where I feel when I try to write and I like have this resistance, I know it's like it's not the right moment and there's something within that's blocking me. But like in the moment when there is something just like flooding in, it's so amazing. And Bobby just had an amazing comment too. She said the training and consistency of practice brings the processing and transforming to an organic state where we transform instantly and eventually don't spin at all. It's brilliant and it's real. Keep going. We got this.
Woo!
And I feel that's the same for us, like to push us to certain disciplines like the writing. It's the consistency, it's the practice, and we can't judge ourselves of, you know, what we write down. Because in those moments when there is something just brilliant flushing in, we're there, we're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just wanted to read an excerpt from her collective writing.
Nice.
Okay, 1966, Legend of the Night Flower. At the very beginning of the creation of the world, and long before the sin, which became the downfall of Eve, a fresh green shrub spread its broad leaves on the banks of a rivulet. The sun, still young at that time and tired of its initial efforts, was setting slowly, and drawing his veils of mists around him, enveloped the earth in deep and dark shadows. Then a modest flower blossomed forth upon a branch of the shrub. She had neither the fresh beauty of the rose, nor the superb and majestic pride of the beautiful lily. Humble and modest, she opened her petals and cast an anxious glance on the world of the great Buddha. What? I mean, you gotta laugh. I mean, she has beautiful writing. You know what I mean? Like, such is the heart of many a woman. The first gracious word, the first affectionate caress, falling on her aching heart, takes root there deeply. Profoundly moved by a friendly word, she remains indifferent to the passion demonstrations of the whole universe. I mean, if that ain't Blue's Clues, I don't know what the fuck.
It's so fascinating how like there's so many, you know, beings that even Mom was in her different timelines. And then like within Madame Blavatsky, which is only one of them, everyone has so many, you know, codes to find there individually for themselves. Like when they described, you know, the lily pattern, what I heard is like, you know, be like, you know, be the grace of God. Like, you know, the flower doesn't wonder what her purpose is in the morning to start, you know, blooming and opening her petals. She's just there. She's just love. She just smells good and looks beautiful. And, you know, we gotta just be.
Absolutely. And a lot of beings are lost in the sauce because they don't know how to be. Like, who am I?
So I just want to say real quick, I just looked up Lily, and
nice.
and it means devotion or purity. It also refers to the mother essence and motherhood and rebirth, and it has to do with good luck. And it was a blessing in China to be given at a wedding.
Wow.
So fascinating stuff. You know, I just want to say real quick too, you know, that you brought that up, Jerry, and you know, you asked Buddha, you know, if he could feel into that lifetime. And I feel like for myself, at least, I've had a state of denial about it even being a reality because I've rarely gotten visions or signs, and I feel that's a part of my human design anyway. I don't really have the ability to tap into past lives. I can feel what's going on around me or see it and a lot of different stuff, but past lives, it doesn't really come up like that. Yet I'm telling myself now that I can feel it and I can feel your energy. And I feel it's time for us to really have a conversation. They're showing me, I'm just throwing it out there where we like just have our energy present, maybe with Buddha, you know, and you, Jerry, and maybe even Kat, and then just being present with it and then letting it all come through because there's a lot there. That was you have to understand that she was a Russian mysticist who traveled the planet and met masters, wrote about them, and then put all this information out there into these books and pamphlets and things. And this is the basis for basically what you call New Age religion. The 7 rays of light, and the basis of that comes from Blavatsky. She is the mother of modern mysticism. As who she
Mom.
So
Love you, T.
Love you too.
Get him, Mom.
We were feeling just a moment. Absolutely, Al. And I just wanted to say to T, we were coming up with a live stream for T, and it was going to be called Truth Talk 2 minute. Okay, Aurora says, go for it.
2-minute truth talks with T.
Yeah, boom.
Sorry, I blew up.
Did you hear? He says,
Sorry, I blew up.
okay, Elle, look, you know what's amazing is that reading is one thing, but reading aloud is another. That's where the vibration is at, and that's where I hit you in the heart. Because then you felt the timeline. You felt, and like, she mentions Kutumi, and I haven't got to the El Moria part yet, but like, I know I'm part of, like, I love jigsaw puzzles. I know, like, Mom made me love math for a reason. Made me the geek who never got good grades. Like, I like hated the Auroras of high school and college because they didn't fucking study and they got straight A's, and here I was studying my butt off in the library and getting B pluses. You know what I mean? That's like a blow to the ego, but I have skills for these moments of research, and that's why I'm grateful.
feel you, Jerry.
I have trauma, okay? I have trauma.
You have to admit it. And I just want to say, too, because I saw it a lot, and I've seen all types. I knew someone in my grade who skipped a grade, and she never studied. Yet I knew another girl who was our valedictorian, and she studied her ass off and was stressed, and, like, it destroyed her. You know, so it's just all about really the joy of it. And I find that, you know, the way that the current education system works, because you just explained college. College is you reading it and then going into a room and then someone's going to say it back to you. And then you know that's what's on the test. And it's just complete. Oh, no.
It's dumb.
Where do we go?
Are we still there?
Okay,
I
cool.
can hear you.
And that's just complete crap. You know, because you're really not absorbing it, you're just mimicking it. You're just regurgitating it.
It's like stuffing it down and then
So true.
vomiting on the test.
Literally.
And then the knowledge is gone.
With
Whereas I just
anxiety.
got-
With anxiety.
Say that again.
with anxiety, like
Right.
Right.
I would twitch during finals and midterms. Like I would get a fucking, oh my God, it was so.
Right.
right.
For me, it was this like really weird thing where I was always really good of being distracted and talking to everyone else and still like kind of getting what the teacher was saying. But I was like super lazy, so I never studied. And with what I was, able to do from that was like, the middle field, I would say. But we had a different person in my class. It has the exact same name than I, and she was this like absolute super brain. Like she had the best, graduation in the end. And I always like had this comparison in my brain. Like this whole time my mind was like, look at her, she's so good. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm just too lazy to be there. And like, yeah, you got to do more. And it's this really weird thing where the ego just builds those, traps where you fall from one thing to the other thing. And it's beautiful to come to a place where it's like just full acceptance of who we are. And it doesn't matter whether we had been mid-grade schools or the front runners or broke out of high school or whatever, like all of that, it never was designed for us to, to really help us, to really bring us somewhere. It's literally just there to make us, acceptable for the system.
It's just about discipline. Like I just felt into that fully because if you're someone in the medical field or you're someone that, or a lawyer and things like that, you had to be disciplined to get there. You used the system, you played the system, you worked in the system, and you chose to be disciplined in it, and therefore you're rewarded in society. And I feel we have to realize that the same principle exists in our nature, in our organic being, because the consistency and the discipline are what make us divine. And when we're doing research finally and we're diving into things and we look at what happened in 1776 and the creation of the United States and how that was Pluto and Capricorn, and that's happening again right now and going on since 2008, the beginning of the crash, the housing crash, and now housing is inflated. We're probably going to have another bubble burst. That isn't even about housing. It's most likely going to be the treasury bonds because the United States is in massive amounts of debt. I recently learned that Singapore has no debt, and wealthiest countries that there is.
Interesting.
And so interesting. Yeah, 707.
Yeah. And I just want to add real quick because I feel the difference is consistency as it is in the 3D. It's this external force controlling you. So it becomes this robotic behavior. But a consistency, divinely, it comes from within in the heart because you do something, you learn, hey, this is good for me. So every morning now I jump in the shower and then I go outside and ground. Like, it's like coming from a space of self-love rather than the control, even from within us.
Yeah, and I see that. Like I'm feeling you deeply because it's a choice. You can, because that's what I'm starting to realize is that energy just is. And with the ego program mind infection, call it whatever you will, we have had this for so long that it's actually shaped our evolution in many ways, and not necessarily for the better. But other people would say that, but inherently we're selfish, and that's our forefathers, and they gave us those genes, and that's the way that we progressed forward. And I feel that the reality is that is the injection of the ego because we are in a lifeboat together. We're all on one ship. We're all on one vessel, all in one car. We're all together with this on this journey. And that is just the reality. And that's where the spirituality actually gives a forum for talking about that. To be like, oh yeah, I feel you and you feel me. And how does that work? And how does this happen? And that's I can't even explain that. And so when we dive in and we just say, I don't know, what's going to happen?
It's magic.
It's magic. And you're going to have something happen to you that is magical. And that's why I always love doing sessions and people would, get that feeling afterwards. I've had miracles speaking to God on the phone, and you're going to have them too when you open yourself up to the 5D energy, when you talk about these things, when you book a surgery. You're going to know if your soul needs a surgery at the moment, could use a cleaning, a flushing out, right? Just like you would with your car or something. You got to clean the fluids out, keep the fluids, nice and clean. That's how you maintain it simply. And that's the same thing for you. You know, and on an etheric level, on a spiritual level, you got to feel light. And if you feel like you're walking on a cloud, then you're going to really be able to see the bigger picture and walk more simply in life and not feel so weighted down and so anchored onto this. Balance that shit. Center.
It's so synchronistic, as I just had a pre-surgery with a being, very first session ever, and the night before she went to rest, she like set this intention of being open and having that experience. Like she was at that point where she knew with her soul she's ready for it, and basically asked like, is this it? And what she described was like this light coming in, like surrounding her, almost like, you know, one with her, and like feeling what she said as if God touched her left ear.
What?
I said whole body was lighting up.
Oh my God.
And it's like, because she was
love
so open to it. You know what I mean? Like, we have to dissolve all the doubt about magic. It's fucking real, man.
They write books about it. You know what I mean? It ain't fairy tale. This is the true reality.
Humanity has a lot to look forward to, man.
Woohoo!
It's time to play. It's time to have fun. Time to be in joy. Make the best of what you got. And be ready to travel the galaxies, the multiverses. It's gonna be fun. But first we gotta get this planet right.
Yep. I wanted to
Get
play,
it right, get it tight.
I wanted to play this musician's take on the whole COVID thing, so we can have some
You got some island vibes going
some
on here.
good vibes before we wrap up.
Yeah,
Sweet.
switch over then.
I'm just doing that now.
I don't have it. Because I never get it. Because I don't want it. Because I don't trust you. Yet you still insist. I need a proof of vaccination to exist. And so the lies persist. But some of us can tell. And you bet we will resist. I hope you know it's plain to see. The pseudoscience you misuse on the TV, and all the power you abuse that keep the people confused and afraid. How is this still going on? This stuff's been going for way too long. If you ain't blind, you can see that this is wrong, and I won't comply. I mean, no way, I may be wrong, and after all, I'm just a singer. But I'm not afraid to use my brain and middle finger. So go ahead and do your thing, but I'm not taking anything. These vaccine passwords are a crime, and so I sing. Hell no, I'm gonna get it. Hell no. H-E-double-L-N-O. I trust the government? Hell no. Do I comply? Hell no. H-E-double-L-N-O.
Wow. Get him.
This is probably one of the few times it's appropriate to say hell no.
Right? You
Right?
spelled that. Because it wouldn't work. Heaven, no, H-E-A-V.
No, that's when you use it. None of that. We ain't gonna have none of that.
Wow, loves. Oh my, thank you so much for joining us today.
We're gonna have to do this again.
Thank you for having us. Yeah,
This
we
is
got to
too
make
much
this
fun. It's like
a thing,
therapy
yeah.
for us.
Right?
I feel that. I just like that's why I have to realize there's a lot of resistance to me like ever doing any type of stream really ever. But ultimately, once I do them in the moment, it's the cleanest thing. It's like coming to, you know, a health spa. Seriously, because and I'm learning to just be like in quiet, you know, because I was like, no way could we do 4 of us on here, and I'm like, this was so chill. It was just so relaxed. So I'm utterly grateful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Are you up for doing stream tomorrow on your own YouTube? I'll just put
like,
you
please
on the
give me
spot.
a break.
It's like, Mom just came through. It's like, just ask them on live. Just go.
Online. No, we got it now. We got the setup. We're rocking it. We're rolling it. So for sure.
Awesome.
Yay.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been so much fun. I'm glad we were able to just manifest the grandness that we have been all waiting for. Many more grandness moments to come in unity. I don't feel there's anything on in terms of councils today. It is Saturday, so Georgie will be back for Roadside Nuggets, and Kat and Elle will be back tomorrow morning. Thank you, everybody, for your participation.
We love you.
We love you so much.
We got humanity love is on the call.
All together now. Are you awake, Al?
Finally. This is amazing.
Did that reheart? Okay. Did that reheart you of Hawaii? The roosters of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Right. Let's do it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Mama, mama. Mama, mama. Hey, hey, hey.
Love this one.
Joy.
Mama, mama.
Joy.
Mama, mama.
Joy Ray.
Hey, hey, hey.
Love has won.
We love you, humanity.
Joy Ray.
Woo! Stop a messin', count your blessings, and book those mother